All right, welcome to the sixth episode of the Plan B podcast with myself and, yes, sir, Cock Monster. So, let's just dive right in. Tonight, I want to talk about the ridiculously growing national deficit and debt we're accruing to China.
I can't follow that. Sorry. I have no comment.
Your fucking face was priceless, and I'm sure everyone listening was like, what the fuck is this? Now let's talk about sex.
What podcast am I on right now? I think I showed up to the wrong one.
No, let's just talk about sex like usual. Um, I do want to say like a couple weeks ago. Do you ever see these fucking? I guess they're Urban Dictionary posts, but people like screenshot them and send them to me all the time, and I never pay attention to them. Like I don't even read them. I see the name. The name's usually stupid as shit, so I don't even read the shit. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like the dirty Chewbacca
Like,
gets sent to me all the time. I've never read it. Don't know what the fuck it is, but it gets sent to me all the fucking time. Well,
I've never seen that one.
you're not missing anything, I'm sure. Well, so in the last couple of weeks, another one has been sent to me. It was being sent to me like over and over again. It was called the Sloppy Jalopy. Still did not read it, didn't pay attention to it, whatever. Until this chick that I know, who's a fucking whore, sent it to me. When she sent it to me, I was like, all right, let me read this shit. So a sloppy jalopy. This is a sloppy jalopy. Fucking name as bad as boner. Is when you're about to come, you come in your hand, and when you're done, you smack the bitch across the face with a handful of nut, right? So I read it and I was like, huh, kind of want to try that. So I was messing with this chick, whatever, and I did my own version of this sloppy jalopy. I was videotaping, so I kind of had to switch it up a little bit. I couldn't videotape and come in my hand and smack her, so instead I just jerked off on her face and and then smacked the shit out of her. You know, in the video, you can hear the fucking wad of nut hit the wall. It's like whoop. Like, it's loud as
oh
shit.
my
It was fucking loud as shit. I was very happy that I tried that. I can see me adding that into my little repertoire.
Oh my god.
You ever had that done to you?
I have not, no.
You should.
Who comes up with the names? Because the names are so bizarre.
That's the worst part. Like, it's the fucking names. That's why I can't read it. I'm like, hey, bitch, I'm gonna dirty Chewbacca you. Like, what does that mean? Like, that doesn't even sound right. I'm gonna sloppy jalopy you. Like, it sounds juvenile as fuck. But what it reminds me of is, the fuck was that show that used to be on? Um, How I Met Your Mother. And, like,
I don't
I
watch
feel
that.
like,
I don't know.
I feel like it was always related to Canadians, and I have a lot of Canadian followers, so I'm not trying to piss any of you off. I'm just saying it seems like you guys name a lot of fucking shit, like a Cleveland steamer and all these fucking weird names for things that you should just be like, yo, so this is what I did to this bitch, instead of fucking naming it. It just seems very juvenile to me, and it's
Yeah.
hard to take it serious. Anyway, since we're not going to talk about China and the deficit, you fucking bastards. Tonight the first thing I want to talk about is ass to mouth. Um, because I know, I would say it's probably split 50-50. You know, people's opinion on ass to mouth. And as much as I love bitches' asses, my opinion on it probably isn't, it will probably surprise some people. Um, what, let's hear your take on it first.
I do it, so I don't have a problem with it.
For real?
Yeah.
Straight from your ass in your mouth.
Yeah.
No shit.
The first time I did it, the first time I did it, I was like, what am I doing right now? But then it's not, it wasn't anything, so I just do it
Taste different?
now. No, it doesn't.
No taste at all.
Not for me. I mean, but I'm not like fucking with an ass full of shit. So it's like,
Well, thanks
I
for
think I'm
clarifying
good.
that. I appreciate that. You know, I'm weird about that shit. I am. I love eating bitches' asses. I love doing all kinds of things to chicks' asses. But I will tell you, like once, like if I eat your ass and then I start fingering it or putting toys in it or fucking it, like I'm not eating your ass anymore until your ass is washed. I'm just fucking weird about it like that. If I fuck you in the ass before I put my dick anywhere else, I'm gonna go wash it first. So I don't know. I'm not a germaphobe like whatsoever. Like I'm pretty fucking filthy, but I don't know. I think it's like a mental thing for me to be honest. I was this chick sent me a video one time, and she was a doctor, like a pretty well-to-do doctor, knows her shit. She sent me a video one time, and it's of her getting fucked up the ass, but the dude was like fucking her ass, taking it out, putting her pussy back in her ass, back and forth. And I said to her, I was like, "Do you do that often?" Like, I would think that there would be sanitary issues with that. Not to mention, like, if I was to fuck you in your ass and then go straight to your pussy, I'm also not gonna eat your pussy again right then. Like, I'm just not. And she said, she's like, the worst that can happen is a UTI. I don't normally do that, but it's no. She's like, I'm a doctor. I can prescribe myself antibiotics.
Oh
I
my
was like,
God.
okay, fair enough. But I don't know. I'm just fucking weird about that. Most of the time, like if I've been out with a chick, go out and do whatever, and we've been out for a little while, or somebody like drives to see me, and I know they're in the car for hours. Like most of the time, I'm like, I'm not gonna eat your ass. Like, you want me to eat your ass? Go wash your fucking ass. Um, like I don't know what you did on your car, right? You probably farting the whole fucking time.
Oh my God.
But then again, there's sometimes that I completely abandon my
It
rules.
depends on how much you've had to drink.
I only drink water. I don't need alcohol to have fun. So
Oh, okay. You're one of
yeah,
those.
yeah. I'm very special like that. It's like magic water. Poof. Um, but when I was in LA, I fucked this chick one night, and I didn't meet up with her till like 1 or 2 in the fucking morning. And I met her at a gay bar. So
Why?
naturally,
Why were you at a gay bar? Hold on.
I wasn't at a gay bar. She hit me up. We had planned to meet if we could. She had hit me up and was like, "I'm at such and such bar." I was,
Oh, so she was there and you
yeah,
just like met her there.
right.
Oh, I thought you meant like, you first met her there. Like
No, no,
first
no,
time ever.
no. It was my first time meeting her, but no, I was not there. Um, it was later described to me as the coyote ugly for gay guys, and that's exactly what the fuck it was.
Was
It
it?
was,
Wow.
it was something else. Needless to say, I was in and out of there. But when I got the chick back to the crib, you know, I had no choice. I had to dive face first into her crotch just to make sure she didn't have a dick.
Oh my God.
And like I said, this is like 1 or 2 o'clock
Oh
in the
my.
morning. So I'm fairly certain I was eating her ass and everything else. So yeah, sometimes I do abandon my rules. But as far as like pulling my dick out of someone's ass or and going into another hole, like I like it filthy. Like to me, that's just I don't know. I feel like it takes it to a different level. I don't know.
So I have a little bit of confusion. So like you'll eat an ass, but you're not okay with her putting your dick in her mouth after it was in her ass.
No, I'm not. And I'm somebody like I'll come in a bitch's mouth and I'll kiss her afterwards. I have no problem doing that. I've never had a problem doing that. But even if I pull my dick out and there's
What's
nothing
the
on it.
difference between eating an ass and doing that?
Say that again? What's the difference between what?
What's the difference? What's the difference between eating an ass and then just doing that? Eating ass and then doing that.
I don't know. Like, eating ass, even though I'm like sucking her asshole and like trying to tongue fuck her asshole, your tongue's not actually breaking the sphincter. It's just not. And I feel like once you go past the sphincter, you know, that's when other things could be there.
But it's her mouth. It still bothers you even if it's her own mouth.
Well, I kiss these bitches. Well, not all of them, but if it's a bitch that I'm gonna kiss
Oh.
afterwards, yeah, I
Oh, okay.
that's where that dilemma comes in for me. Now, if a chick like was, really wanted me to do that, I have no problem doing it, but I don't think I would kiss him afterwards. I'd be like, there's some Listerine on the
Okay.
sink. So I don't
You
know.
must think I'm disgusting because I feel like I do that. And then I'll go in between holes, like back and forth.
I mean, if you're not getting UTIs from it, I guess you're good to go.
I
I
have
just
yet
feel
to
like,
get a
huh?
UTI.
What?
I have yet to get a UTI.
I just feel like once you break the sphincter, that I would say it's probably a much higher percentage that there's actually fecal matter on you, even if you can't see it. Like it just has to be. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't fucking know. But
I mean, no, it makes sense. I would assume there is probably like little tiny pieces,
right,
but I don't know. I guess because it's my own body, it doesn't really bother me that much.
this is the same girl that did not want pee in her mouth last time we talked, which is sterile, by the way. And don't message me saying it's not sterile, blah, blah, blah. Fuck off. It's sterile. So,
I mean, you can drink your own pee if
yeah, absolutely
you
you
really
can.
have to survive.
Absolutely.
I watched Bear Grylls.
Yeah. Yep. And I think Pacquiao drinks his fucking pee for like a month or two before he fights. So, yeah, you can do that. I don't know why you would, but you could. Fuck, something related to this that we were talking about on my fucking Snapchat today, and I can't fucking remember what the hell it was.
Oh my God, you know what I was gonna tell you?
Hmm.
So remember last time we were talking about like STDs and like herpes and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know how people always say like your phones are always listening, blah blah blah, whatever.
Valtrex commercial
So
popped up on your phone.
like right after we did that show we recorded, I got an email and the email says a message, or it says open if you have herpes. That's like the subject line. Open if you have
Jesus
herpes.
Christ.
So I open it. I mean, I don't have herpes, but I still opened it.
Thank you
And
for, thank you
guess
for
who the
clarifying
email
that.
is from?
Oh,
It says a message from your kidneys.
that's just fucking weird. From your
Like,
kidneys?
what the hell
Why wouldn't
is
it be from
that?
your vagina?
Yeah,
Does herpes
I don't
does
know.
herpes invade the
Isn't
kidneys
that
or
the
something?
weirdest thing?
That's,
I don't know. I don't know. So it says open if you have herpes. Then you open it and it says a message from your
you're
kidneys.
better than me. I wouldn't even open that shit. I would have deleted that shit so fast. Like I don't want to read that. I don't want to see it. Like get the fuck out of here. Jesus.
I just thought it was hilarious. So your phones are literally always listening to everything that you
Oh,
say.
it's so obvious. I mean, I think what's his name admitted that on Capitol Hill. Like, this shit's creepy to be honest. Especially with some of the shit that I talk about on my phone. So, yeah,
Usually it's just cats for me. Just lots of cats.
cats. Here, pussy, pussy, pussy.
Cats and herpes, apparently.
Cats and herpes. Jesus, you need to get out more. right. We were gonna try to take calls this week, and I know I put it out on Snapchat, but there was some issues, so we're not gonna be able to do that today. So we'll just keep it moving. Um, Fuck. What was the other thing I said? Uncircumcised versus circumcised dicks. That's what we're about to talk
yes.
about.
Yes.
I only have experience with an uncircumcised dick, so I don't know how much I can lend to this. But what experience do you have?
Um, I have experience with both, which I'm sure is not surprising. And I know I've made memes in the past about like um
Anteater,
uncircumcised is
anteater
like
penis.
yeah, uncircumcised is gross or whatever. But that I mean that's just like a meme that I make whatever just to make some talk and it always works. If I post something like
Oh,
that, people
people
get
love it.
offended, they go back and forth and back and forth. Like I'll purposely post something to piss people off just to see what happens. So but I personally have no problem with it. I actually prefer uncircumcised because they're way more like sensitive to things.
Is that a good thing though?
I think so. I mean,
First of all,
because like
I would think that that would make it much more difficult for them to hold a nut.
I mean it can be, but also circumcised guys struggle with that as well. I don't think that really has anything to
Touche.
do with it.
Good fucking point.
Um, it's just like they're more they like I feel like they can enjoy things might really turn him on compared to like a guy that's circumcised there's just like oh like I feel this on my pants.
Um, we talk about this a lot on Snapchat because I have a very large portion of my followers are European, and in Europe, UK, all those fucking places over there, they don't really circumcise. So every time we have this conversation, people either get offended or they want to add their 2 cents or whatever. I was talking to some girl today, messaged me and was like, she was asking me about. Well, she didn't even tell me the guy was uncircumcised. She's like, I've got this guy and I'll be sucking his dick and he just can't handle it. And I think the topic came about because we were talking about women that don't like oral. And she's like, it's just too sensitive. I can only suck his dick for about 5 minutes, and it's not like he's about to come. I just, it's just too much for him, and I have to stop. And I said, well, is he uncircumcised? She was like, yeah, he is. So I think it could be, a double-edged sword. That to me, that doesn't sound enjoyable. If I couldn't enjoy a fucking blowjob, I would be fucking pissed because I love getting my fucking dick sucked. I can't even imagine having a girl sucking my dick and being like, you gotta stop. It's just, I can't, like, I just can't imagine that. And then the amount of stories that I have fucking heard, I forget what the fuck they call it. There's a piece to the uncircumcised dick, and can't remember what the fuck they call it. But I can't tell you how many stories I've read from men and women that it's basically a string that connects, I guess, the skin, about these dudes like ripping it during sex and ripping it during this or that and blood being everywhere. Yeah, man. Like, it doesn't.
What
It
the
sounds
hell?
painful as fuck and messy as fuck. Like,
Oh my god.
I can't even fucking imagine that. So I don't know. Like, I'm not here to judge anyone. It is what it is, but there just seems to be so many issues with uncircumcised dick, from cleanliness to everything else. So, circumcise your kids, people. Even though it's barbaric as fuck.
Well, I think nowadays it's way more common to circumcise than it was, 10, 20 plus years ago.
In the States, I think it is. I don't think it is in
Anywhere
Europe.
else?
Yeah, possibly. I don't know. I can only go off of like what I know from like Europe, and I think Australia is the same as well. Um, so yeah, I don't know about the rest of the world. It just have you ever been to a fucking bris? Have you ever seen a circumcision?
I don't want to see a circumcision.
No, you
No.
don't. You're right. You don't. You fucking don't. I went to
Why?
one of my
Did you watch a circumcision?
well, one of my boys' son had a bris, and that's that's what Jews do. They do it in the temple. And I went to this and witnessed it, and they like straight up circumcised the kid, like right there on the fucking altar, in front of everyone.
Oh my God.
Yo,
Do
my
they?
my knees fucking buckled watching that shit.
Was the baby just like screaming?
Well, they yeah, but they were like putting they were like the grandfather was dipping his
The nummy.
finger in like wine and like putting it in the kid's mouth. I guess that probably helps a little bit, but at the end of the day, you're getting a piece of skin cut off your fucking dick. So
What the fuck? Oh my God. I don't want to think about it. That's terrible. I had a friend that got stabbed in the dick
what?
and he had to have surgery. He got stabbed like at like a house party and he had to have surgery because he got stabbed, whatever.
Did he get stabbed
And
by a
while they were
midget?
down there, no, no.
So somebody just decided
So while they
I'm
were
gonna
down
stab
there,
at your dick.
well, it was like a house party that just went crazy. A bunch of people got stabbed. It just so happened he got it in the dick.
Fucking Callie.
And,
Fucking Callie.
and he had to have surgery. And while he was like going through surgery, he had them circumcise him too. So he was like a grown adult and got the circumcision.
They say that shit.
So he's like, I think he's probably like one of the only few people that can say like I've had sex with both. Like I used to be uncircumcised and now I am circumcised. Like he knows what's best because he's done both.
Then get him on. Let's talk. Let's talk about it. I really just want to know about
I
getting
don't know
stabbed
if
in
he
the
wants
dick.
to talk about it.
I'm so intrigued by the fact that he was stabbed in his penis, because I'm sure he's also one of the only people that can say that as well. And didn't come from a woman. It was just a random fucking let's stab some people up in California because that's how we do in the house parties type of shit. So
It's the
I would be
Bay
fucking
Area.
pissed
What
if
do you-
somebody stabbed me in my dick. Honestly. Like somebody's got to get shot for that. Like honestly, somebody has to get shot for that. Oh boy.
Shit was crazy.
Oh yeah, it sounds crazy. Sounds real fucking crazy. Yeah, let's just leave that one at that. So on the last episode, we were talking about pegging. I think it was the last episode. We were talking about pegging and our opinions on it. And I knew somebody would have a different opinion or be offended or whatever. I really only got one message, and I actually want to have you read the message, just because I want to show, like, I'm not trying to be biased. I want to show everybody's side of the fucking story, and this is coming from a straight guy, so I just wanted to, put out there what he said, coming from a straight man that I guess is into being pegged. He says, I think for the first time you've said something I disagree with, the strap-on gay thing. I've never done that. But you got really excited about the thumb tapping orgasm, or the thumb tap orgasm. Well, a finger inside doing that be even more intense. I'm reading it word for word, people. So then I tried a small bullet with a woman on top. Mind fucking blown. Point is, it's chasing the orgasm for most of these dudes. I'm not submissive at all, but once you felt how epic it feels, you want more. That's probably why half these dudes try it, and the other half are probably sissies. Whatever. Point being, that came from a straight guy that likes to be pegged or whatever. And, I wasn't trying to say that, if you're doing that, you're gay or whatever. I think that's where most people's minds go. Man or woman. That, if it's a guy that's not into that or hasn't tried that. But I get women all the time that are very weirded out when guys when they make the switch from a finger to a toy. So I think I'm just expressing the opinion of probably a lot of people, but it's good to show the other side of the coin as far as I was concerned. So there it is. Sorry if I offended anyone that likes things shoved up their butt. If you like things up your butt, by all means, shove the biggest thing up your butt that you can. I'm all for it. Just don't shove it up my butt.
Do what makes you happy.
Yes,
do what you like.
Yep. Just don't shove anything in my ass.
And if that's what you like, that's what you like.
All right, let's take some of these questions.
Cucumbers.
That's a common one. Women love that shit. The women fuck a lot of vegetables. I think growing up, they got it confused when their parents were like, make sure you get your vegetables. Because I have seen some nasty ass shit. Anyway, I wanted to read this question randomly. It's not on our list or anything, but I want to read it because I want to address this. This guy wrote in and said, so there's this TV show called You, Me, Her. And there's this girl who says WWLD, and it means what would Lori do? So I was wondering if they picked it up from you or you picked it up from them with the WWYFBD, which stands for what would your fuckboy do? That actually came from a follower of mine. I think it was back in November. And it was so random. Like, they just messaged me saying you should make bracelets that say this shit. But I know exactly where they got it. They got it from what would Jesus do? Because when they said it to me, they were like, they were telling me like, it's like, what would Jesus do? But it's like, what would you do? I have never heard of that show. I don't watch MTV, so I don't know where that show got it or any shit like that. I quite frankly don't care. But that's where the what would your fuckboy do came from. And I honestly, I wish I knew which follower it came from, because that shit has exploded. Like, they have turned that shit into a movement. I think that shit is cool as fuck. So anyway, I just wanted to address that, and now we can get into these questions. All right. Here is a question from one of my little UK followers who better bring her little ass to the States so I can defile it. I have a question for your podcast. How bothered are men by tidiness of women's vaginas? Now, let me clarify that. She's not talking about whether it's clean or not. She's talking about the labia. I'm an extremely confident woman in the way I look. She's a bad little bitch. And hold myself the way I look and hold myself. But I do get self-conscious that the social standard is to have no labia on showing. I've also heard guys say they won't go down on a, quote, messy vagina. I haven't seen many vaginas in the flesh, so I only have porn to go off, but assume they're all like dicks. No two are the same. I would have to agree to an extent. I wouldn't say very many are the same-ish, I guess, but I guess that really depends on the guy. I don't give a fuck. Like, I've never given a fuck. It just doesn't matter to me. It's not going to stop me from eating a pussy, fucking a pussy. Like, it just doesn't matter to me. I will say that I've seen documentaries of where these chicks will go and get the surgery. I actually have a follower that just did the surgery, actually. And she showed me like the before and right after pictures, which
oh my god, why?
Painful as fuck. Like, legit stitches still on her labia.
Oh my god.
I would assume that any mature man is not going to, isn't going to be like, oh no, gross, that's gross, I'm not, doing that or whatever. But I'm sure there's some fucking idiots out there that. But I mean, I guess you got to look at it like this: how many of you bitches out there talking about ain't fucking your small ass dick? So it's just reverse for chicks. Small labia good. I'm not gonna say big labia is bad because I don't believe that. But you get my fucking
I've
drift.
actually heard some guys actually prefer it.
Oh, I
Like,
know some guys
I
that
don't
do.
know, they like it.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't really worry about it too much.
No, I think it's an insecurity that I don't think anybody needs to have. I do know dudes that love that shit, love it. So I'm indifferent to it. I don't give a fuck either way. So anyway, moving right along. Do you know where you're at?
Am I on 9?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think there's a real difference between a dom sub relationship and an open relationship? I think there's a really big difference.
Excuse me. That says relation shit. Okay.
Oh, a relationship. I didn't
Get
even
it
know
together.
this was a T instead of a P.
I think there's a huge fucking difference. I don't even.
Well, relationship and relationship is a lot different.
Well, there's that too. But I think there's a huge difference. I don't think you can compare the two.
I don't think so either. They're way different. An open relationship does not necessarily mean that it's sub-dom at all. It
Right.
means just you can fuck anybody you want.
Right.
Not necessarily submissive or any. That's not ever something that's guaranteed in an open relationship. It just means you can fuck anyone.
Man, people always trying to push relationships on me. My followers are like, "Why don't you try an open relationship?" I'm like, "Why don't I not? I'm living the fucking dream. Why do I need anything like that? Like, I don't need that in my life. I don't want it. I don't need it.
I don't understand the point of it. Like,
I don't either.
It's not even really a relationship, right?
You know, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that because I've never been in one. And the people that did message me about it, they're like definitely either living with people that are, they're in an open relationship. I just don't know. Like it's foreign to me. What's the point? Like, and I'm sure I'm gonna get a ton of messages about this. And I'm so mad we even talked about it because I don't want the message. But
I know. I know.
Yeah, so I don't think you can compare the two.
Relationships are relationships.
Yeah, they really are. They suck the life out of you. I will say this, because a few people have messaged me and been like, you should have somebody on that talks about or gives relationship advice. I actually give relationship advice all the fucking time because people message me and I give it to I just gave it to one of my friends over the weekend. And I do want to actually touch on that, but we'll do it on the next episode. But I give relationship advice all the time. I don't condemn people that are in relationships. It's just not for me. If it works for you, cool. It doesn't work for me. So this next one is weird. Let me just direct it at you because it's, yeah. What would you do if you caught a guy jerking off to your picture?
I would be ecstatic.
I would be flattered. I would be fucking flattered.
I would be. I would. I would like want to intervene. Like, do you need some help with that? But then also at the same time, like, I just want to watch you do it. Like, get it done.
You are
do your thing.
You are so thoughtful. THOTFUL. Thoughtful. All right, so that's the answer to that.
I mean, I think if you're sending pictures like that, that's kind of what they're for, right? So, like...
Dude, I haven't jerked off to a fucking picture since fucking high school.
I don't jerk off to pictures.
Do you jerk off at all?
What?
Do you jerk off at all?
I jerk off all the time, just not to pictures.
I feel like women really shouldn't use that term. Get off, fine.
Jerk off. What if I put it in quotes?
Okay, that's better. She air quoted it, guys. We're good. We're good to go.
Jerk off all the time.
I actually jerk off all the time. Just not to pictures. All right.
Does anyone actually know what you guys look like? I mean, I own a mirror. Do you?
My mom knows what I look like. She tells me I'm handsome.
And she's very disappointed.
Yeah, she tells me that too. Plenty of people know what we look like. I know you did. You did like a face reveal after 100,000 on Snapchat. I've shown my face several fucking times. I just choose not to show it regularly. I was just on a friend of mine's live a couple weeks ago. She's got like damn near 2 million followers. I have shown my face many times. I mean, if you haven't caught it, that's on you. But I know she's shown her face, and I've definitely shown mine. You can actually find mine posted on some social media that I have, but I'm not going to tell you where because I've posted it way too many times. So, if you can find it, go for it. If not, wait till the next time. Oh, how do you?
You're not gonna find mine like sitting on any social media. That's why I did it on Snapchat. But there was a lot of screenshots, so I'm sure it's out there
Oh,
somewhere.
dude, every time I fucking do one on Snapchat, and I won't even leave it 24 hours, it'll be so many screenshots. All right. How do you safely choke someone until they pass out without killing them? I feel like I post this fucking constantly, but apparently if it's not every day, it's not enough. The way you choke someone is by putting pressure on the arteries in the neck, the jugulars. I'm sure I'm gonna get a bunch of messages telling me the doctor name for it or whatever, scientific name for it or whatever. But you're putting pressure on the arteries. It's the lack of blood, to the head that makes them pass out, not putting pressure on the fucking trachea or throat or whatever. You fuck around and kill somebody real easily like that, and you don't really want to do that. It's not a good look on anyone. So just go for the arteries, figure out where the arteries are. They're up underneath the jawline, and apply your pressure.
More so on the sides, not the top.
What do you mean? That's the top of my throat. That's where I've got them right now.
Like the
I do it
side,
right under the. Yes, the pressure's on the sides, but it's
the neck, like not the. Do you know what I'm saying?
no.
Like the sides and not on top. Like not on like your throat, like on the side
That's what
of your neck.
I already said that, motherfucker. You didn't hear me.
Oh, sorry.
I said put the pressure on the jugulars or the carotid artery or whatever the fuck they call it, not the throat. Catch up.
Got it. How not to kill someone. That's what this is called.
Exactly.
How can feelings affect the dom-sub relationship?
I think it ruins it.
Well, feelings ruin all relationships.
Yeah, they do. I think it ruins it. There's a change in the dynamic when you bring in feelings into a dom sub relationship. It just changes it, and it in my opinion, it fucking ruins it. What about you?
I feel like it can work out. It can work out and be fine, I think.
Have you done it?
To a certain extent. Yes.
And you're married to your dom now?
Yeah. I knew that was coming.
When you get to that point, you're allowed to say, "I think it can work out." Until then, shut the fuck up.
I mean, I can call him and get married, and it'll
Oh,
be okay.
I'm sure you can. But when will the divorce be?
It'll be an open sub-dom relationship.
No, you are headed right down the right fucking path, man. You're hitting all. Fucking have a kid while you're at it. Fuck it, why not? That always helps
Might as
situations. It always helps situations.
Always.
Always.
You
Nobody
have
ever.
problems,
Nobody
just
ever
pop the
regrets
baby
that
out,
one.
it'll be okay.
All right, let's wrap this up. Hopefully next week we can get some callers on here and bust you guys' balls on the podcast. Once we do start doing that, we encourage you guys to call about whatever the fuck you want. But if you talk shit, we gonna talk shit too. So there's that.
I can't wait to make fun of you.
Me?
No, whoever calls. Well, you too.
Bitch, who the fuck are you talking to? All right, so let's go ahead and wrap it up.
Sweet dreams, nighty night. Dream of that pussy being tight.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, have a good evening, and remember, always be a good girl for daddy. Bye-bye.